Hey, if you believe it, then it's true.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't know. Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Why are you skating with Native Americans?
Wow. Why?
Well,
Because we helped.
I'm not against it.
We helped to fund a skate park.
You guys are...
We helped to fund a skate park in Navajo Nation.
Okay.
I like how you're just right in, though.
Well,
Thank you. We didn't it's so funny that we did not talk about that at all.
No.
And then as soon as we start, that's what you had in the,
Well, 'cause I thought it was
chamber. It was really cool.
Special, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's in Two Gray Hills in Navajo Nation, and it's deep New Mexico.
Right.
Like 3-hour drive from Albuquerque. Good park.
And
It's fun.
everybody out there is like it's a
Native
town.
American, yeah.
Everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, there was some, news crews there and stuff like that, but it was really cool.
Did you
They
get the
bust a
skate
bunch
park?
of kids in. What's that?
Did you help get the skate park built?
I mean, I helped through the skate park project, but
Okay.
there were a bunch of different groups that were all collaborating to get it done. And I mean, Jewel was a big help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For Kinship and Enchanted Skate Shop, and then the president of Navajo Nation, this guy Boo Nygren, legit skater.
That's the one with the hat on, right? That did
Yeah.
like an ollie.
Yeah, and nollies and board. He made a video part from the opening. Like someone just followed him getting clips, board slide the rail, like the flat bar.
Yeah.
It was amazing in his boots.
That's awesome.
He told me that he watched our trick tips videos when he was young.
Yeah.
And didn't have any place to skate. This is like legitimately how he learned how to skate. And he's like, man, I got to figure out a place to skate. So then he started collecting pallets from this feed store that was relatively close to him.
Yeah.
Like pallets just of wood.
Yeah.
And then he would cover them with particle board so that he had a flat area to skate.
Oh wow.
And that's how he learned how to skate.
Because there was no ground.
No ground. Yeah, no concrete. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
he's really stoked on
Yeah,
that
because
skate
when I
park.
came, I kept hearing like, "Oh, the president, Navajo Nation, he skates." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then, I'm
does.
sure he rides skateboard, and then I see him get on a skateboard, and I was like, "Oh, that dude legitimately skates."
Yeah.
Like, doing ollies and nollies and board
Yeah.
slides. Yeah, it was cool.
How many kids?
They bust in a bunch of kids from different schools and areas.
Yeah.
So there's probably about 500 there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Anybody can skate yet? Or all pretty new?
No, they were just kind of. They actually through us in the Enchanted Skates shop, they provided completes to them.
Yeah.
So most of the kids had completes already.
Okay.
But a lot of them were just going on their butt and stuff.
Yeah.
They were just stoked to do it.
Yeah.
And then there were some Native American older teenage 20s that were you could tell hardcore skaters.
Right. Is it the same? Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know about you, but growing up and having a skate park, I felt like there were people that went to the skate park that didn't skate that were up to no good. And the people that were skating, I don't know if I was going to go bad, but I feel like skateboarding, when you hang out, I don't know if it's the same now because parents kind of like hang out with their kids more. But back then it was more like go away, so go away and get in trouble, or go away and because I found skateboarding, and then my quest was when I left the house to skateboard, not to do anything bad, like
I feel like you're dancing around something.
I was busy doing that and occupied, but I'm trying.
But you're saying there's a bad element that just lurks at the skate park.
No, I'm saying the skate park builds. Like character builds, there's a huge chance when there's a skate park in someone's town, if they discover it, they won't be a piece of shit.
Agreed, yes.
They'll get into that.
Right.
And I wonder if that's still the case.
Yes, very much so.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got nothing's happening in your town, and you're like, well, man, I guess graffiti or like setting fire to something. It's like, wait a minute, there's a skate park, and then you guys give skateboards. Like you're off.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean that's a special case for sure. But I agree with you in the context of a skate park will bring an element of good to any community because kids feel disenfranchised and they choose to skate and then they just get kicked out of every place.
Right.
And it's like, I finally found something I love and now you're telling me I can't do it. Yeah. So that's really the that is the whole sort of concept for what we do at the foundation. But this one was special because we had to try to find, usually we give funding and then they get extra funding from the city or like matching funds from other places. And so it's always like this sort of collaborative effort. But this one, it wasn't like we were getting money from the city necessarily. We had to find the funds all over because it's on native land.
You found the funds?
Well, we helped to raise funds directly for that. Yeah. And then with other groups, we got enough to build the whole place. But I feel like it could definitely be a model that could be duplicated for other
get
places.
Skate parks built.
Yeah, on native lands.
Because there's a lot
of people rallied around it and they were stoked on it. We've done other parks, but they're usually way smaller and modular, like little obstacles, wooden, whatever.
Is this budget wise? Like
that's from the budget, yeah. But this one we found enough to make it concrete.
And why? What's the difference? Why did you find money there and not somewhere else?
Because they had a group that was already hustling to get it done.
Okay.
And a couple things went viral in terms of people finding out about it.
Oh, okay.
You might have seen. Do you see the girl Naomi Glasses?
Yeah.
She did one. What was the ocean spray? You know the thing like. Drinking. So she did that skating down a rock.
Oh, okay.
In her native apparel.
Sweet. Yeah.
And that went viral, and that
brought sponsors.
That brought people to understand about the project.
And that's
where I first heard about it.
Yeah. And then that brings in money.
Yeah.
So she kind of got the skate park built.
I think she had a big, I think definitely.
That's pretty cool.
There's a big hand in it, yeah.
Was she there?
She wasn't there.
What?
I know. I think that she doesn't live near there. It's a Navajo Nation covers a lot of area. That's what I learned.
Well, it looks fun. How hard is it to get there?
If you fly to Albuquerque, it's a 3-hour drive. If you happen to be in Gallup, it's only an hour drive.
Okay. Gallup,
New Mexico.
I'm sure I've been there.
What's that?
I don't think I've been there.
You've driven through it because that's the route, Route 66.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay.
You've definitely driven through it.
Okay.
We went to we were there on Easter Sunday. The only place open was Applebee's for dinner. So we went to Applebee's for dinner, and by the time we left Applebee's, there was a crowd outside.
Oh.
Because everyone heard we were there.
Action-packed Applebee's.
Yeah, and then they said it's so cool. Last 2 weeks ago, the drummer from Metallica was in here. I was like, what is Lars doing here? He was driving through.
Okay, all right. Still weird. I didn't think he drove anywhere.
Yeah. Also, when you're on a road trip like that, we spent the night there because we had to be there in the morning.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're on a road trip, you're not stopping at a sit-down Applebee's.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to keep going.
Keep going,
right.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. But if there's not a lot of options, then...
True.
Because I drove back from Vegas the other day, and I think it was Easter, so nothing was open. And the last place that was open was Del Taco. I don't want to eat Del Taco, but I ate it.
Yeah.
Because it was
desperate times.
It was like nothing.
Yeah.
Or Del Taco, and I was like, okay. But that was challenging.
We had McDonald's for breakfast
today.
No, there.
You still do that?
Well,
huh? Yeah,
keep it real in the field.
Keep it real. So nasty.
They want me to do that Are You Garbage show.
They do?
Yeah.
Because you should.
And all of my kids are like, you're garbage.
Yeah,
for sure.
You love crap. You love it. It's such a weird thing for you to be into.
It was, but that was my life. Like, that's how I grew up. And, my dad was all about, like, the nicest place that my dad would take us out to was Sizzler.
Right.
Like, we were going out to eat.
Did he ever eat at a nice restaurant?
The only time, not really. I think that like the only time that he would say, "Oh, we're gonna go out. These guys have a prime rib special."
Oh, okay. So
it was like a pretty nice place because their prime rib was $5 or whatever it was.
you never took him to dinner or anything?
I tried to once I started making money.
Yeah.
And
He wouldn't go?
it wasn't that. It was just more that it wasn't his vibe. Like I took him to California Pizza Kitchen.
And that's a flex.
Yeah, because he never would go out to places like that.
Okay.
And then he went and he was like, that was terrible.
Oh.
Because it was like different flavors.
Oh,
And he
okay.
just was stuck in burgers, barbecue, steak.
But not even
and
good
Italian food.
barbecue and steak. He's into...
No, he did.
Sizzler steaks.
I got to say, the place that he used to take us to as a kid, it was called the Barbecue Pit in San Diego. They had a couple locations.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, I still have core memories from Barbecue Pit.
Yeah.
And there is one left. And my daughter had a lacrosse game in El Cajon.
Yeah.
So my daughter had a lacrosse game, and I was looking up, like, where are places? And I'm like, oh, Barbecue Pit. And I went there, and all these memories started flooding back because it's the same decor. 50 years.
Yeah.
Same decor, same vibe, same sauce. I was just like, yes.
And it was good?
Yeah, on my own. Just Barbecue Pit to go. It was sick.
Barbecue Pit.
Dude, we gotta go.
See, I'm down. I like meat. I ate Del Taco the other day. I could definitely go to the Burger Pit. I mean, whatever it is, Barbecue
meat?
Pit. It had meat in it. I think it was meat. I'm not sure. The taco was eatable, and then the burrito was not.
I feel you.
I was like, this taco is, I can live. And then I was like, I'll have the burrito. And then I bit into it, and I was like, nope. That's got something else in there that I don't hang out with.
That I don't hang out with.
Yeah, some kind of weird cheese, like another grade down of cheese, where it's got a funny smell, and I don't want to be a part of it.
I feel you. Jason.
Yeah, mate.
New sponsor alert, Caldera Lab. Say goodbye to the generic face wash on your counter because Caldera Lab is here to save the day and your skin. Caldera Lab is backed by a leading clinical trial where 9 out of 10 men experience healthier and visibly improved skin.
Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products by combining pharmaceutical-grade science with nature's purest and most potent ingredients.
The Clean Slate is where you start your day. It's a balancing cleanser that uses gentle plant-based cleansing, leaving all skin types refreshed. The base layer is a nutrient-dense, fortifying moisturizer that hydrates your skin and absorbs fast. The Good is your go-to before bed and clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother.
Look no further than Icon, the rejuvenating eye serum that addresses the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. I get puffiness.
I'm all too familiar with all 3 of those. Caldera Lab is a certified B Corporation as well as member of the 1% for the planet.
Get 20% off and use the code WOLF at calderalab.com. That's 20% off at calderalab.com by using the code WOLF. Oh! Got an emotional stomach.
You have an emotional stomach?
Yeah, I react weird to things. I also make bad choices.
You mean you think you react because it's psychological and then it...
Might be, because it's kind of ridiculous. Like a bad meal can really rock me.
I see.
But my body ejects it pretty quick, though.
Right.
Whenever I eat something bad, it's like just puke and poop. And then in an hour, you're good to... It's like it didn't even
that's
happen.
it. We're done.
Yeah. Like I had that spicy sandwich. It was like an hour of pain, then poop, vomit, and then I'm like... It's like it didn't even happen.
You're not down for the count.
Nah, it's just got... My body's just like...
Yeah, I think I do the same thing.
Right. Just got to get this out.
It's like,
and
no,
then you can,
reverse,
yeah.
and we're done. We're good.
Sometimes I blame my wife, ex-wife. Oh, God. Ice cream's in the freezer in those little tubs. I can't have a little bit of it. I have to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to go back to the freezer and put it back in. I got it here. It's pretty comfortable. It's tasty. Next thing you know, I eat next thing you know, I eat the whole thing. And then I don't feel very good in the morning from that. And I'm like, it's not even real ice cream. It's like, bullshit ice cream.
Non-dairy?
Yeah.
Oh.
And even that, because it used to be I think I've become lactose intolerant, so I moved into that world, and it tastes just as good, but I think it's a certain amount of sugar, or I don't know what it is, but yeah, my body's like, you shouldn't have done that last night.
We were just talking about school snacks. And when I was a kid, they would sometimes have ice cream bars, but you would get to get one, and the label was ice milk. It wasn't actually ice cream. This is such a 70s thing.
Yeah.
And then it was bad. It tasted like someone froze milk.
Did they? What
I don't
is
know.
Frozen milk?
And then it would come in the form of ice cream bar, so it looked good. But then you'd see people at the front of the line because it would be like a special treat, and they'd open up like, oh, it's ice milk, and then you'd be in the back of the line, and everyone would just bail.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, not that.
What is ice milk?
I'm sure. I don't know if
Where
it
did
exists
that
anymore.
come from, and how is it?
No, it's so 70s.
That's such a weird.
Our school lunches were so terrible.
Do you know how to make it?
No.
Are you sure you didn't imagine that?
No, it happened for sure.
Ice milk.
Wikipedia says it's a frozen dessert, but with less milk fat than regular ice cream, so it's normally cheaper. So it's basically just...
It's cheaper. Yeah, I mean, it was public schools. That tracks.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. For sure, it's cheaper. No one was concerned about health in... I'm talking about like 1977. Like, it was not...
But it wasn't...
We were still talking about the food pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you have to have meat and milk and cheese and bread. And
You
like,
have to have cheese.
Yeah, otherwise you're not a complete balance.
If you don't eat all this cheese, you'll die. Yeah.
I heard a podcast not long ago where the guy's like, I want a class action lawsuit against the the health department for making me eat the food pyramid when I was a kid.
Yeah. Like there were things on there where you don't need to have that ever in your life, ever.
Right.
But some meat and some vegetables are good. But if you don't get that bread and cheese in there, you can kiss your life
it was
goodbye.
just pushed on us all the time.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I know. There was a day there where I was like, yeah, cheese. You need it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, now I love it, but
Yeah.
you don't need it.
No. Yeah, I know. I don't want to like cheese, but I love cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese is cool.
And
It's gross.
it's cool. Yeah.
It's gross. It comes like what? It's like weird titty animal milk. It's like weird, and they mix it with poisons and all that stuff. But man, it's like, how can you have a pizza without cheese?
Do you like those Happy Cow cheese?
I hate that. Wait,
You hate the Happy Cow cheese?
wait,
La vache qui rit? What's that?
string cheese ones?
No, the little triangles
Oh yeah, I don't like those.
with the Happy Cow on it.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Dude,
It's got a weird smell to it.
those are so good. I used to have those on my rider.
That is odd.
I didn't know when they first were like, "Hey, what do you want on your rider?" I go, what's a rider? It's like, "What do you want? What do you want in your dressing room?" I was like, "Oh, I want those little Happy Cow cheeses."
I
and
can't
Ritz
even understand
and
what's
salami
happening right now. That is so disgusting.
and hummus and
you can
pita
have
bread.
anything you want, and you want cheap turd cheese, individually
Hater.
wrapped. What is the one in the plastic, the waxy
I
red
don't like that one. Baby Bell, yeah.
That's better though, isn't it?
My kids love those.
Yeah, because they're.
I mean, those are okay, but I just like the creamy one.
Ew. You use crackers with it, or you just
I
shove the.
say, yeah, Ritz crackers
Ugh.
and salami. It's my snack.
Okay, it's not as bad, but I mean, it's such a dirty charcuterie board. It's just like,
Yeah, those don't belong on a charcuterie board. I'll give you that.
yeah, because it's
That's true.
jank.
No, because it's never mind. Because you can't slice it. That's why.
Well, I used to have a chocolate cake on my rider for the band, and I would always have some, even if
That's
I
cool.
didn't want some.
I can do that.
Yeah, it just looked cool. It's like
That
it's
you just have a
somebody's-
chocolate cake.
Yeah, it's like somebody's birthday.
Did they ever put candles on them?
Nah.
Did they ever put writing and icing?
Yeah.
What did it say? Death, death, die.
Yeah, or our cake or something.
Our cake?
Maybe my cake.
It says my cake.
We
All
never
right.
threw it at anybody, which is weird. You think you'd throw it at least.
Oh, yeah.
But we legitimately, I really wanted chocolate cake. Something about doing a good gig and then having chocolate cake in the green room feels successful.
That's cool.
I feel like you've done something, you know?
We used to have on Huck Jam, we had a pretty robust rider just because we had so many skaters, BMXers, motocross. And I remember one time we had a bad show because a couple people got hurt. Some stuff went wrong. I think it was when Carrie Hart got hurt.
Oh.
And it was just like, it was kind of like the lowest point. And I came into the dressing room and I just full rage quit and threw my board at all the beer and destroyed, like, it was like a case of beer out, but on ice.
Yeah.
And it just threw my board into it, broke everything.
Were people there?
Everyone was kind of in the same mode.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? We were all coming back from the show. Like, we just wanted to get done at that point where, people, like, it just all went south. And so we just had to go through the motions to finish that show. And it was just like, let's just get out of here. Like, this sucks.
Wow.
And then
everybody was like, but it switched, right? Like, it got better again, or?
Well, that we had to sort of reassess, like, what are we doing? How do we, it was just more that, yeah, there was a perfect storm of a couple bad things that happened.
Yeah.
And the height of that was Carrie crashing in and then breaking his heels, and it was a bummer.
But everybody on the tour was bummed out.
Yeah, I mean, it was traumatic.
Yeah. We were.
Bucky got knocked out by Bob's board.
Yeah.
I told you that one, right?
That's insane.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
And to be in the biggest demo.
Rick Thorne, the MC, got knocked out, so we had to just have all of us grabbing the mic.
All that in the same.
It was all like within 2 shows.
Oh.
But the height of that was, I think, it was the second show was when Carrie got hurt, and then we all had to, like, just come together, like, okay, how do we move forward and make sure these things are not happening or whatever it is. Like, we just had to figure it all out. It was a bummer.
Yeah. Wow. And then you did another one. The tour, like, was it? Were you like when you did the other one where we did the tour bus?
Yeah.
Was it a little iffy to do it after that debacle?
No, because we really came together and we're like, okay, this is,
So before that,
nothing is left to question. Nothing is like, this is how we're doing it. And
it felt safer.
We're tight, and we're not going to take any chances. And we're not, it's just like, this is the tour now.
Yeah.
We had to button it up. And
so
we did,
at one point it was a little looser.
But you were on that one tour where things were, remember there were a couple of, I'm not going to name names, but there were a couple of guys on the tour that were having mental issues. You don't remember that?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Mental issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
They left the tour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember that? That's weird.
Yeah. I don't pay attention to people like that.
We'll talk about offline. Yeah. No, you did, because I remember you talked about how it came sort of at you, and it was like, oh, there's a problem here.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember. It's all right. There's too many tours.
I do want to say I found out this the other day.
Too many personalities.
I was talking to somebody who's friends with Steve Barra, and I know that on the tour at one point I was announcing, and Steve got really mad at me and flipped out at me in the bus afterwards, and I was like, he was talking to me like fighting kinda, and I was like, what? Like I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? Like I felt bad. Like I think.
Oh, because you were just riffing on the mic?
Yeah, but then I found out the other day that, he said, he called me a vegan F-bomb. And I was like, I did?
Back then. He called you that?
I called him that. On the mic.
What?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Do you think you would have really dropped that on the mic?
No, but I'm not...
You're not above it.
I believe him.
In those moments.
I do believe him. If he thinks that, then I do, you're an idiot, Jason, saying stuff on the mic and not, back then not knowing that you're.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not even a vegetarian. I'm like, I'm just, I was just saying stuff. I don't remember it. But now knowing that he thinks that I said that, Steve, you probably don't watch this, but I am sorry. Like, I was not trying to bum you out. And if I did say that, that is totally inappropriate and you are justified.
I'm sure he's moved past it.
I know, but I still...
But that was
knowing that now...
Understood.
I was like, wait, did I... I might have. Oh. Dude, like when you look... I'm like, he didn't deserve that.
Yeah, there were a lot of regretful things back then, for
Yeah.
sure. Yes, I agree.
And from hitting my head and stuff, I feel like I don't remember a lot of them. So it's like, I don't know why that guy's short with me these days. And he's like, because, dude, at one time you had called me a vegan F-bomb. And I'm like, that's pretty annoying.
Definitely.
Yeah. So my bad, dude.
I did a demo, man, it was probably like 2006-ish, I suppose. So, am I in my 40s? No, I was in my late 30s, maybe 40s. Yeah, late 30s at the California State Fair, Sacramento. And they had demos going on, vert demos.
Yep.
And I came in as a special guest one day.
Yep.
And the guy on the mic would not stop talking about my age.
That's right. You've told me this.
Where I was just like, dude, I'm not, and at that point, yeah, I was maybe nearing 40, I don't know, but I was just kind of like, oh, but I'm still, I was still
really good.
doing, I could still do all the tricks and whatever. And and every time I drop in, he's like, this guy's like 10 years older than all the other riders. He's in 40. And I was like, dude, do we have to do this every time I go?
More than one time. Like if you found that
it was every time. It was so to the point where after my fifth or sixth one, I was like, dude, can you just not talk about my age?
You said
every time? Yeah, because I was like, that's all you have on me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to think there's more to this.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more to you, Tony. Especially when you're skating. There's a lot more to say than how old you are.
I remember the ramp was smaller than mine and had less vert because it was like...
I loved it.
They had
I skated it.
You skated it, right?
I had one of the best demos I've ever had in my life.
I shot out after a stalefish because I landed too high and my board went all the way into the crowd, just shot over everyone's head, and I was so paranoid that no one was going to see it or catch it because it went, the people who are up front in the demo, they're all paying attention, but behind them, maybe not so much. And I watched it go in the crowd, and I saw a couple hands catch it, and it was like...
Yeah, that was, I was living at Chris Miller's house. I think I'd already babysitted Zach when he was 2, and that was when I remember the Millers leaving the house and going, okay, Jason... What, you know what I mean? And it was their first time they'd ever left their first son. And they're like, Jason, you're going to take... Yeah, I know. Yes, you should cough and vomit. Because I think I was like 18 and I was super influenced by Chris. And I was living at Chris's house and I was living by Chris's rules. And I wasn't sharing any of my life from before. So Chris... and Jennifer thought that Jason's a sweetheart. I am a sweetheart, but there is another side that you probably don't want to leave your kid with.
Right.
But at that point, I remember I got him, I'm holding him because he's a little baby, and he starts crying because they're leaving, and he's never had them leave before.
Right.
So now I got a crying baby. They shut the door. They got a puppy dog, and a baby. And I'm in charge of both of them. And I remember feeling so much pressure, like...
How long were they going to be gone for?
They went to dinner. It was like 2 hours.
I thought you were saying they were going out of town or something.
Way overnight. That baby, Zach would not be here if it was overnight.
Okay.
So I just had to keep the baby amused for a couple of hours, but I was so nervous. I was like, this is wrong. You guys should not be.
But that was during that Sacramento thing. Is that where you bring that up?
Oh, yeah. Or? So then I set up a board. He gave me a prototype. That's right. He gave me a prototype of my shape on planet Earth. Okay. And it was the first one, no graphic. And I put these stickers on it and grip tape, and I was like, this might be the greatest skateboard I've ever owned. Yeah. It just felt right. The grip tape I just accidentally did it really good. And I was like, this is my greatest skateboard I'll ever own. And then we went to that demo, and the ramp had no vert, and I'm from Mel Paran has no vert.
No vert, yeah, that's true.
And I was still my legs were still Paran pretty good.
Yeah.
So when I got on that, it was Paran but wooden and grippy, and I was like, this is my jam. Like I got my favorite skateboard ever, and this ramp is perfect. And I did mute 540, backside 540, tail grab 540, like back to back, and I'd never done that. Like I was hot that day.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing photos. Every time I see a photo, I think maybe a frontside ollie or something, I was like, I just knew the sticker job. And it was like, that was the board. That was the board.
that was the moment.
Yeah. I'll never forget. It was the blue board.
That's sick.
Yeah. And that ramp was great. And the crowd was great. It was like a big demo. And it didn't make any sense because it was like a stadium of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Was there bands playing? Because it was packed.
Well, it was a state fair.
Okay. Just
So
remember,
automatic crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
And then X Games had sort of started to peak right then.
Okay. Yeah.
And people were coming in just like, whoa, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was like a big day out kind of crowd. It was
Yeah.
like thousands of people.
1,000 people, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Breaking news, Jason.
Yes, Tony.
Manscaped now sells beard products with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Now your drapes can match your carpet by going to manscaped.com and using code HAWKWOLF for 20% off and free shipping.
My hair is all different colors, Tony. It's confusing. And now that I'm getting
lot of
older,
grays
I've
mixed
added
in?
gray to the mix because I'm like
Yes.
a redhead, blonde-headed guy with like some black hair. I don't know. I'm a beast, man. Let's talk about Manscaped Pro Beard Kit. First things first, the Beard Hedger. This cordless trimmer gives you 20 hair cutting links, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave in the shower to avoid all that hair in the sink.
The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time.
Yeah.
The Pro Kit also has 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care.
All your hair is different and needs different care.
Apparently, all your hair is different colors, too.
Yeah, and some spots I don't even have any anymore. Some spots I got spots, I don't even know why I have hair there.
Next, the kit has Manscaped Beard Oil to relieve dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while adding a little shimmer and shine, making you look extra fine.
Last but not least, the Beard Balm to shape, style, tame, and moisturize.
If that wasn't enough, the Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress.
So get 20% off and free shipping with the code HAWKWOLF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code HAWKWOLF. Those are, yeah. It's weird. And then when I went to Europe, I flew myself because Chris didn't have money for Vert Dudes to go. And I went and I got 5th in the world at the Monster Cup. And then I went out and started drinking. And that's when Chris first met
The drunk Ellis.
the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy.
And that was, everyone was smashing glasses over their head. So I smashed a glass over my head and everyone's like, did you just do that? And Jeff Kendall had a beer mug in his hand. He was like, fuck yeah, Alice. And I went, whoosh, and punched his beer mug and flying everywhere. And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And I look at my hand and there's all this meat coming out. And I'm like, uh-oh. That's not good. And then Randy Jansen was my team, Gullwing team
You have so many
manager.
enablers.
Yeah. No, my fault. All my fault. But Randy was nice enough to help me get in a taxi. The taxi wouldn't let me come in the taxi because blood was squirting out of my hand. Like, bleep, bleep.
So Chris saw all this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you okay, man? I'm like, I'm awesome. And then Randy found me a plastic bag. So I put my hand in a plastic bag because the taxi wouldn't take me anywhere because I was bleeding out. And then I'm in the taxi, go to the hospital, and we're in Germany. No one can speak English. And I'm farting around like, it'll be right. Yeah, I don't need any needles. Like, just do the stitches. And I'm hanging out talking to Randy. And then the doctor put the first needle in my knuckle. Instant sober.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, okay, I'll
Super
do anything.
buzzkill.
And then it's like, when we have another, I'm like, there's 2 fingers in here. He's not done. And then the next one, and then back to the bar within a couple of hours. And so,
Oh my God, you went back out.
And this goes all the way around to Munster Cup. Then we went to the Grand Bernard, France. And I got 5th in the world. Nobody knew who I was. But that night, everybody in skateboarding knew who I was. And I was like, I have made it. And then I go to France, and I'm in the contest with one hand because my hand's broke. And I remember dropping in, and you were on the ramp, and it was like, I know he knows who I am. I was in a contest the other day. He knows who I am now. And you go, yeah, Alice, Jason Ellis is going to win the contest. And I was like, what? Wait. is he fucking with me?
Oh my god! Yeah, that was a way to psych people
I'm
out.
just trying to tell you, it didn't make any sense. I'm just saying, why would he say that? Because I got fifth, maybe he thinks.
Were you unable to use that hand? I assume.
Yeah.
So you skated one-handed.
Yeah. And then I blew my knee out, so then I had to go to hospital again and get a knee brace, and that's when I had crutches and the broken hand, and that's when everybody rioted in France.
Yes,
and there was this big riot, and Craig Johnson's hair caught on fire at a bar because there was lights on the wall, and the light caught his hair on fire like 4 times. And the 4th time it was, he pulled the light out of the wall, and there was a cord on it, and he pulled the cord all the way around the bar out of the plaster, and they're like, you are out of here. And we're like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm on crutches. I don't know anything. I'm obliterated. I've been through so much. And then it's like, if you don't get out of here, like the mayor's on top of a van with a microphone going, you're all going to be put in jail for 3 days, no bail. Everyone needs to evacuate. And then this dude who was a pro skateboarder, who now I believe is a police officer, George Watanabe, I think that's his name. He got on the van, pushed the mayor out of the way, and grabbed the microphone. We're fucking trash this place, rah! And everyone's like, rah! And I'm like, yeah, rah! And I'm running around, all of a sudden, I'm like, what's all the gas? And I see people with T-shirts over their face, and I'm like,
oh, they tear gassed it?
They tear gassed me.
Yeah.
And then I was just standing there, and a car drove by, and I think Mark Gonzalez or Lee Ralph was hanging on the back, skidding behind it. So I was like, that's my way out. And I grabbed onto the back of the car. And
with your good hand?
Yeah, well, that's how I messed it up, because I was skidding behind the car, and Gonz was on the roof, on the boot, going, yeah, Ellis. And I'm like, whoa, Mark Gonzalez, crazy. And Lee Ralph's dragging next to me going, fuck yeah, Ellis. And he puts his hand out.
Oh, no.
Like, fuck yeah. And I go, fuck yeah. And the dead hand is holding on. So the dead hand just goes bink, and I do the scorpion skid where your feet go over your head. And then I just hobbled out of there with no crutches and a wrecked arm. And nobody went to jail. I don't know how that happened.
So I'll give you my perspective on that. We were at the same event.
Yeah.
We weren't at the bar, but
no. I would have remembered.
Bones Brigade. I can't remember. One of us. It was like Nicky Guerrero.
Yeah.
Probably if I was on tour, it would have been like Ray Underhill, Steve Size, Eric Sanderson, I don't know, a bunch of us, and we all were staying in an apartment because it wasn't a hotel. That I don't know what happened. We couldn't all get hotel rooms or something, so we're just all staying in this
power
room.
move.
But we're not out raging or whatever. And the next morning, the cops break open the door,
Yeah.
and come in hot, trying to bust us for something.
Yeah. But you guys weren't even there.
We're asleep.
Yeah.
We're asleep.
You're the only people on that whole thing that didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and then they came in and they just start picking up our bags and dumping stuff out. And we're like, what is going on? They're just like, stay there, stay there.
Oh, wow.
And then I remember there was...
My bad.
What happened? Something where... I don't know what they were looking for. I assume they were looking for drugs.
Yeah. I did them all.
And I'm pretty sure that...
A few hours late
Nicky Guerrero had a block of hash.
He always did.
And they didn't understand what that was. They saw it. They picked up all the stuff. They saw it, and they put it back down, and then they left.
Wow.
Because they were looking for something that was more, I don't know, stereotypical.
Man, I remember in Spain...
But we didn't know. We didn't know all that stuff had happened the night before. So when we came to the event, we're like, these cops just broke into our place. And they're like, oh, everyone got in trouble last night.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't come to my room.
They already had enough of you.
That's weird, because I was like hanging off the balcony and all kinds of stuff. And then we went to Spain, and I hooked up with the Red Bull girls. And I had these 2 Red Bull girls hanging out with me that didn't speak English. And we went for a walk in the park, and I stood on a block, and I was like, what the hell is that? And it was a giant block of hash, as big as a Rubik's Cube. And I couldn't take it back to America because you're going to go to jail if you try to do that. So I tried to smoke it, but it's impossible because it was so big. So I was up all night. This is when I discovered I was going bald. I was up all night, and I was in the bedroom, and I decided, because I didn't have a camera, I can't take photo, so I got a piece of paper, and I drew around it with a pen of the dimensions, and I took the piece of paper back to America so that I could show everybody this is the size of the block that I found in the park.
God.
Can you believe it, you guys? And people were like,
Were their reactions what you'd hoped?
yeah, my stoner friends were like, no way, mate. Yeah, that's bullshit.
You traced it.
Yeah, because I didn't know how else to.
You should have had like a courtroom artist.
I did. If I had a guy there to do that, I would have. Or just take a photo of it. I didn't even have a camera.
I swear it happened.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then, but that's when I
love how you still have that wistfulness. Like you still see it and you're like, oh, wow, that was
Dude,
really
I had it
amazing.
on the table and I'd be on the bed and every now and then I'd look over and go, wow, that is amazing. I mean, who left that? How do you drop a Rubik's Cube? How many other blocks did you have?
Oh, my God.
It's just a mystery that will always remain mysterious. But that was a great time.
Evidently, yes.
Yeah.
Do you really look back on that chaos, though, like sketching on the car, getting hurt, as a great time?
Yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You don't regret that it, like, ruined you in that moment?
Nah.
No.
What do you mean ruined me?
Well, I mean, you were injured. You were hurt. Like, you couldn't...
I was already hurt.
Right, but you got hurt worse.
Yeah, I didn't look at it like that.
Okay.
And you know, you're making me regret it a little bit. But not a lot.
I was not trying to paint it a different way. I was
Right.
just curious if you look back at it and go, oh, man, that was...
It's been years now, Tony, where I've just come to the conclusion that, you know, you're a bit of a dummy.
You accept it.
But you're also a bit of a battle axe, you know? Like, you know, if you made a movie about me, you'd be like, this guy's a freaking battle axe, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he just bonks into crap and he's like, I should be right.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
I get that.
You
Yeah.
know? I got older and I got wiser, so now a little bit of it I'm like not so proud of because I'm like, dude, this is irresponsible. And then I'm like, who is that? Who said irresponsible? Shut up. You're a battle axe. Stop.
I have such murky memories of those years and the years after where I think of it as a certain way, and then I've seen some videos recently where I was like, oh, that's not even what I remember. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
See, that's the other thing that...
But it's mine is just all about the skating.
Yeah.
But I do think that, for instance, I remember someone was asking me about 900s recently for a project, and yeah, I know, I've talked about it endlessly, but I remember there was one event, and I thought it was the best trick event, and I just tried 9s. Like, that's all I tried.
Yeah.
And usually if it's the best trick event, I would have gotten something under my belt,
Yeah.
and then gone on to something else. Maybe tried 900. Probably not, though.
But instead you just went for the 9 from the get-go?
That's what I remembered.
Yeah.
And it was this event in Asbury Park, New Jersey. It was a Warped Tour, but also a World Cup skate event.
Yeah.
And I saw someone post a clip from that event, and it was someone else's run. And I was like, dude, do you have the best trick event? Because I really want to, like, I'd like to see kind of how close I was. Because I hadn't made it yet, right?
Oh, okay.
This is like 96, maybe?
Yeah.
96, 97. And I remember I was pretty close. And then he's like, oh, I have your run. I have your runs. And then he sent me the runs. Like, I was so thankful. And then he's like, yeah, but your third run, you just tried 900s.
You don't remember the other rides where you actually did stuff to put yourself in?
No, it wasn't that. I remember it as a best trick event.
Oh, you had a contest ride.
It was a contest ride. My second run was like as good as I was going to get.
Yeah.
And then so I just spent the third run trying 900s.
But you remember it
I remember it as like a best trick event.
contest,
Yeah.
where you only did a 900.
Right.
Yeah, that's a weird selective memory.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's not like
I would rather...
It's not groundbreaking, but it was interesting. And I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, there I am. Like just set up, try. And my first attempt, I got pretty close. I couldn't get a good setup on the other attempts. And then by like 3 times, I'd already went way past my 45 seconds. Right. So I was over it.
Yeah, I feel like people telling stories from back in the day where they were like, it wasn't like that, Jason. It was like,
yeah,
it was way more mellow. I would be happy with that. But usually when I get those stories slapped back at me, it's like, dude, you were out of control.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? I thought I was being pretty cool. It's like, no, dude. You scared the
You
crap.
romanticize them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I was always like, man, it must be so much fun to be around me when I'm high. But I think I was off a little bit sometimes.
You think?
A little bit, yeah.
There's probably a reason you made a big change in your life.
So that I wouldn't be completely alone for the rest of my life? Everyone's just terrified of me. I know.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoops. I used to tackle people a lot too. It's like an Australian thing. When you get drunk, you grab on to your friends a little bit.
I remember that and New Zealand people too.
Yes.
And they were always a lot bigger than me.
Yes.
And it was a little scary.
Yeah. So it's just a thing that took a long time to go away. But part of me misses him. He's so fun and fuzzy, you know? And he just had to be tough
You should
to
keep
be
talking to people that were there so that maybe you remember that he wasn't so fun and fuzzy all the time.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Oh, look,
Just keep yourself in check.
I'm not bringing him back. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm trying to get even more not me.
Wait, what?
Like, more responsible and
more refined. Yes,
I feel like I live in my own head so much that sometimes I don't know when I'm. I could have been nicer. I could have been more understanding to the situation because I'm, me,
more empathetic.
Yeah, what empathetic?
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds like a cool word.
Yes,
I should try being that. It might be a bit late. Whatever though. I feel like this show everyone loves the show. We'll be huge. Maybe I'll get a house in the bush or whatever and grow a real long beard and dry
those
out.
things don't connect. If our show gets big and you live in the bush, then we can't do the show.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I'll stay here. I live in the valley and I'll grow a beard. And I don't know. I guess I'll. I can't really hunt in the valley. I always thought that I was going to retire and be a hunter, Tony. Jeremiah Johnson. You know that guy?
No.
Jeremiah Johnson is a guy, I don't know if it's true, but it's a movie, and Robert Redford is Jeremiah Johnson. It was my father's.
Oh, I think I saw that.
But I think it's based off a true story where the guy was in the military and he didn't like the way things were going anymore, so he moved into the mountains. He became a mountain man because back then there were such a thing as a mountain man where they just moved into the mountains and live off the land. And he lived off the land and he married.
Now that's a reality show.
Is it? Oh, yeah, but you have to be naked or something?
Alone? No, there's a show called Alone where you're alone and just live off the land.
I think I've watched it where they find berries and they try to make traps and stuff. Yeah,
and they all lose a scary amount of weight.
Yeah, they're not selling it.
No food in sight anywhere.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
Or they catch a fish and then it like gets off the hook and it's like that was all their food for the month.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just stay in the valley. Glad we sorted that out. So I'll be here. Don't worry, you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. Yeah. What about San Diego? I was thinking about moving back down where you are.
I like it there.
Right?
Big fan.
You got a ramp?
Yep.
I just want to skateboard.
I've been on the ramp. I was on the ramp every day last week.
Dude, I'm going to say it, but watching the videos and seeing how far you've come, the passion is so obvious, you know? You're like a little kid, man.
Yeah.
You put in so much work.
There are a few missing elements for what I want to accomplish that are really, really frustrating and hard to overcome right now.
Yeah.
I cannot, I can sometimes, but it's not the way I want. I can't grab tuck knee.
Right. And that's a big part of a bunch of tricks.
For me, hand plants is like one of the, the pillars of my vert skating.
Yeah.
And when I go to grab, I just can't quite get there. Sometimes I get it, but I call it the claw because it's like I kind of like it's the claw and I don't get it.
That's sketchy.
So if I do make it, I only have it like right here instead of really getting it. So if I can't grab it like that, I can't flop it over.
Right.
So now I'm doing
between leg ones because I told you.
Yeah. Smith verts, that's my go-to right now. But
are you doing any physical therapy?
I'm doing everything I can, but it's just I just don't. And I should be patient. I'm only 4.5 months in now.
Oh, okay.
From my surgery, but that is a part of it that is just like trying slob airs, and my board's flopping around, and that's a bummer. And I can't grab melon at all. Can't grab melon.
Because you can't.
I just can't get there.
Because you can't lean that.
Yeah, it's more my hip flex than anything. whatever. Wah, poor me. I can't do mountains.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to get back to certain tricks.
You want the 5.
I want to do 5. I want to do. This is my the four horsemen of my apocalypse is 540, 360 varial. I got that.
Okay.
Solid inverts
Okay.
and heel flip, frontside air. And I've caught a couple heel flips, but I just don't have the speed and the height to really have time to get it. That's my
Are
story.
you worried about having the technique to go high again, or do you think that's coming?
Both. I'm worried about it, but I do think it's coming.
Right. Because
I get like, let's put it this way. Well, on my first round of recovery, I got, because everything sucked and my leg was not even together, I was getting like 1 out of 5 setup errors that even worked.
Yeah.
Now my setup errors, I'd say half of them actually give me speed,
Okay.
but the ratio is getting smaller. It's getting good.
Right. So you will be.
I hope
there.
so. I hope so.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing to me is it used to be so easy to go high, and now it's like the inconsistency and how sketchy I am. And I'm like, dude, you're going fast right now. Like, do not make a mistake. It's like,
Right.
I'm like, man,
and you can feel that it might fishtail. I know that feeling exactly.
I'm like, dude, people don't realize this
Yeah.
is like a Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm putting it all on the line
Yeah,
right now.
yes,
like,
yes.
this could go so bad.
It is weird how wobbly you feel after a short break.
It takes the pleasure away a little bit, you know? Like, I'm like,
But I think it does. It has to keep. It keeps you in check. Like
Yeah,
it
it does.
definitely keeps you, literally and figuratively, on your toes.
Yep.
Where you're like, oh, don't mess this up. Like go straight. Where you used to be like, ah.
yeah, I loved that bit. That was my favorite
We got to get back
bit.
to that. We have to get back to.
Yeah, I mean, in the air and things are wrong, and I'm like, man.
I got
And it
this.
just goes in and no
Yeah,
problem. Not
my
like
foot, why
everything's
not?
perfect now, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
Still could go horribly wrong. Your body could just be like, nah, turn left right when you land or something.
Yeah.
Can't keep up with how dumb my buddy is.
It is interesting though to have reached this point of skating where I'm getting there, but there are certain things that are just like no.
We should
Like
do yoga.
I was trying to do backside crossbone, you know, like Chris
Yeah,
Kim,
yeah.
and this leg just won't come up
Yeah.
to even make it worthwhile.
We should do yoga.
Okay,
I don't
Right
really
now?
want to, no. But we should. That was your yoga?
no, I don't know.
The hell just happened to you, dude?
There's like
You're
a
looking to
Cobra
get
thing.
beamed up or something? Like, okay, Scotty, good
I'm
luck.
working with a physical therapist, and he has me do a couple of like minor yoga
You
stretches.
doing some downward dogs?
Yes.
That's what that. Yeah, okay.
But also the like I don't know. I want to say it's like a Cobra thing.
yeah, you do like
He
you go
says it, and then as if I
downward
should
dog
know
and
what
then
it
you go
means.
into like a push-up thing.
That, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called
Upward facing dog.
upward facing
Or
dog.
cobra.
Who? What?
Or cobra.
Ooh, Cobra. See,
Ooh,
I know what's up.
that's a way better sound for man. I would have done more yoga if they had told me to do the cobra.
It's pretty cool because I'm working with Ed. He has a doctorate in physical therapy.
Yeah.
But he's sort of tuning it into what I do.
Yeah.
Because first it was just like, well, these are my methods to get people moving and whatever. But he has to sort of tailor it to what I want to do.
Yeah.
So now he's like, all right, I want you to hold on to these elastic cords, right? Behind you, do a jump, and then go straight into a stalefish. And then go straight into a melon. And he's like using the terminology. It's pretty sick.
Wait, so he's learnt skateboard stuff by
Yeah,
being
enough.
with you?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously has skated in his past.
Yeah.
But it's funny because at first he's like, "All right, then go into a stalefish," and he went to a roast beef, and I was like, "All right, let me just stop you there." Like,
I appreciate the effort, bro, but that's not a selfish.
I'm not trying to relearn roast beefs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to relearn melon grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Doc, nobody needs to be doing roast beef.
Wait, roast beef and then Stelmasky. He was like that because he didn't understand that you have to go
Okay,
around.
Stelmasky. I love hanging out with you. Stelmasky. You guys don't even
We
know.
gotta bring him back.
Yeah.
Stelmasky grabs.
I hated that. I hated that you could do all that stuff easy too.
That I could.
Yeah, you could always do
That was
like
my
weird
era.
crab stuff. And
I
make
mean,
it-
there were very few tricks when I started, so you had to
Yeah.
try to learn them all, and that was one of them.
yeah. Did you nose and tail grab like you were just a
Cannonball.
Yeah, cannonball. That's right.
That was more of a joke, though, as like
Right, but I couldn't.
later in years.
There was a time there where I was like, that's fun. And I was like, I can't make that. I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
You could do it real easy.
I did a, it wasn't that long ago. I did a mall grab backside air
Oh,
all the way around the truck.
yeah. See, that's impossible.
That one was hard. That was like, when I was doing it, I was like, this is actually pretty dangerous. Like, probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, when your hand comes off, you could pull the board away from you.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I made sure that I grabbed it and then I like let it go
So sketchy.
like as gently as possible.
do you have long arms?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what your wingspan is. They don't do it. Skaters don't get measurements like UFC fighters. Like, everyone knows their reach in MMA.
Yeah, we don't have any cohesive organization either, so
Right.
no one's doing that.
Yeah, I wonder, because if you have longer arms, you don't have to bend down as far to get your board. If you
I
have a
don't know.
shorter torso.
I got long arms and I can't grab Weddle right now, so
Right.
I'm gonna have to learn nose grab inverts
Why?
because that's the only place I can grab.
No, I think you should do yoga instead. That's a terrible idea.
All right.
Let's do yoga.
Look at you're inspiring him to do yoga.
I got yoga friends. I got connections with yoga. I
Okay.
could do yoga. I don't want to wear
Okay.
those pants. I do want to wear those pants.
I mean,
What am I
you're
talking
not far
about?
off with these.
What? These are loose for yoga.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in. I think I'm in. I think I'm going to start doing yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
You won't.
If you do it in San Diego, I'll meet you there.
Right.
You're gonna do that
Well,
here,
I'll
though.
come over
You
and
can
we'll do
some
a couple
weird
of cobras
Hollywood
before
yoga.
we hit the ramp. What about that?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
We just need what's it called when you do the cycle of a bunch of different yoga positions and you keep going?
Flow.
The flow. We need to get a flow and then we'll do a 15-minute flow before we skate.
Okay.
I am going to
Well, that's what I'm doing with. That's what I'm doing with Ed.
Oh,
so.
yeah, you're already doing it.
Shavasana.
A what? Shavasat?
A shavasana?
All right, now we're getting.
A
no, that's a
shavasana?
deep cut. We're going too far.
I'll do a Shavasana right now.
Or maybe not. No, that's when you lay down.
I'll do a Shanasana right now, for sure. We go to the Tony's ramp and just lie down for 15 minutes and be like, all right, let's go. What'd you just do? Shanasana? Check it out. Google it, dumbass.
Or do a salva and just do push-ups.
Do a what?
Salva does push-ups.
Yeah. He's a stretcher.
Yeah.
He was always a guy that took care of
Yeah,
himself.
yeah.
And he still skates and he's old as hell. So it
Yeah.
works. How old is he?
He's in his. I think he's 60 something.
He looks great.
Steve Alba. Yeah.
So does Tony Elva. Like for how old he is, he looks
Oh yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Skateboarding, I feel like makes you stay young.
I would have agreed with you up to a year ago.
Right. Well, skateboarding and breaking your bones out of your body, that doesn't make you younger.
Yeah, it makes you feel old immediately.
Right.
Yes.
Almost instantaneous.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. It's been hard.
Yeah, but
I went to I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and there's still a small gap,
oh,
but it has actually connected on the outside of the bone.
okay.
Like so, there's an outside connection. There's a small gap, and there's a lot of bone growth on the inside. So he's like, just go do whatever.
It's growing back.
Yeah, but it basically he released me like you don't have to hold back. Not that I was holding back, but
Yeah.
I have the official words.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like from doing this show, I always thought that Tony Hawk was a natural ability. Like you, every time when you first skated, it was just super easy for you. Like that was my assumption. And then from doing this show and knowing how much that was not the case,
No.
makes more sense. I feel like that helps you with this, like to be older and have your legs snap, and then to have troubles with it not connecting and going through all that stuff. It would end most people. You'd be like, all right, look, it's not like I didn't have a good run, but this is getting ridiculous.
Right. Well, that's what I guess I'm not trying to make a full recovery. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm going to get back to doing varial fives and all this
Right.
stuff. Like I want to get to a certain baseline of tricks.
Yeah.
And like I said, those sort of 4 pillars. I feel like if I can get those, I'll be like, yes, I have a foundation.
Yeah.
And if I build on that, yeah, or not. I don't even know when this will air, but I'm working on like an actual new trick.
You bastard.
because I'm skating X Games in Tokyo next month.
Oh, wow. You're going to be in Best Trick?
Yeah.
Man, you do not stop.
But I found a trick that I think I can do with what what I'm capable of right now.
Is it a lip trick?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a coping dance.
Whatever. Those are great.
But I'm stoked on it. Like I would be I really want to. I probably should make one before I go there.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see.
You gonna tell me after the show?
I'll say after the show because I don't want to jinx it.
I feel like we did a show, right?
Did we do an hour?
Oh yeah.
We did
an
a
hour.
show, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe or describe. You need to tell everybody
To all the scribes.
because we're really good and we're doing a lot. And it's like, you know that we're good, but the rest of the world doesn't know. And Instagram.
Tell the world.
Yeah, the rest of the world needs to
We
know.
need you to raise awareness for us.
Yes, raise awareness. Yes.
There you go. That's
tell
our new
your friends,
tagline.
Tell your mum. If you've got
Like, describe, raise
your
awareness.
girlfriend's phone, just make it like and describe us. Don't even tell her. Just rig all phones for
Yeah.
Hawk versus
Anytime you
Wolf.
see a YouTube app open,
Yeah.
go to it, like it.
Yeah. If you're in a line somewhere, be like, hey, random stranger, do you like podcasts? Because I've got a great one for you. You
That's
know
it.
Tony Hawk, right? And then, off you go. All right.
See you next
All right.
week.